Hi, this is Eddie Hearn and you're watching Lights Out.
This is Faisal Khan for Lights Out, proudly sponsored by Spartans Law. We're here at the Origins Boxing Club in Raynham. I'd like to be joined by the
Head of Community Development.
It's a big one, that one. Joined by Alex Le Guevel. Alex, good afternoon, brother. How you doing?
Very well, thank you, mate. How are you?
Very well, thank you for asking. We're down here to check out the Romford Bull. Johnny Fisher's got a big fight coming up in a few weeks as he tries to capture his first title, the Southern Area title, the first sort of stepping stone in boxing. This guy's got thousands of followers on social media. He's got a great backing not only with Matchroom but also his family. His old man obviously plays a huge part in his career. How far can this kid go, Alex?
I think as far as he wants to take it, you know, clearly he knows what he's doing outside the ring in terms of building that fan base, building that support network. He's sticking the hard work in the gym, grafting day in, day out. I think it's as far as Johnny wants to take it. He's a talented lad, he's a big guy, as you can see, standing right next to me now, making me look tiny. And
I'm pretty sure it's you making him look tiny.
It's no, honestly, mate, he can go as far as he likes. I think he's a really talented guy. He's a really personable guy as well, lovely fellow, and he's the sort of guy that you want to pull for. So fingers crossed he goes all the way.
When you look at how well he's developed on social media and how popular he is to the public, does that make you sort of a little bit more hungry in your job role, where you want fighters to develop not only inside the ring but also outside of the ring in terms of their following with social media and sponsorship?
Absolutely. I think my role is going to really help the fighters in different ways. So what we want to do is shine a light on the community initiatives and what's happening at grassroots. So if we can connect the Matchroom fighters with their old amateur boxing clubs or other clubs that are doing fantastic work in the community, I think it helps build their profile in a different way. So yeah, that's absolutely, it's a really fundamental part of what I'm looking to do, and it's going to help build the profiles and build, you know, make the fighters come across in a different way. You know, they all come from the grassroots, so let's showcase where they came from, and then you know, that journey of grassroots to elite level.
It's a sport where following is needed, you know, where a good level of sponsorship is needed. You know, there's so many talented fighters out there that unfortunately haven't built a following on social media and haven't been able to grab a number of sponsors. What are you going to do differently to help these next crop of fighters come up and gain the following on social media and hopefully a couple of sponsorship deals as well?
As I say, it's sort of showcase them in a different way. So if we can take them back to where they began, I think that helps humanise them as people. Obviously, you know, if we can just make them come across in a slightly different way, they're not just the boxer. It's where do they come from. If you sell that narrative around the fighter and, you know, going back to basics where it all began, I think that helps humanise them. It makes them a little bit more relatable with people. So yeah, I think that's where my role can help the fighters.
Okay, let's talk a bit of boxing now. Obviously, Johnny features on the Anthony Joshua versus Whyte 2 on the card. Great fight, 8 years on from the first fight. What's going to be different about the second fight, Alex?
I don't know, both guys, you know, they've experienced so much, they've gone away, they've learned, they've improved in different areas, and they've gone through hardships in their careers as well. So it depends, you know, on who's come out the strongest from those experiences. I think it's a fantastic fight, it's a huge fight. You've seen, you know, it's sold out in a matter of hours. It just shows how big the event is. I think it's been a fantastic atmosphere. It's a domestic dust-up, everyone loves a domestic dust-up. I think it's fantastic. I think it's a really, really huge event, and I think both guys are going to bring it on the night.
There is a potential fight for Anthony Joshua to fight Deontay Wilder, hopefully in December in Saudi Arabia, but he's got to take care of business first. Do you think the potential fight with Joshua and Wilder is giving Dillian that extra motivation to not only sort of, you know, get the win under his belt, but also maybe to even spoil the party and perhaps put himself in a position where he could potentially fight Deontay Wilder in December?
I think it's both fighters will probably say that it's in the back of their minds. I'm sure it is at this moment in time. You know, they're focusing on the job in hand. However, when you've got such a huge fight potentially on the horizon, it's only going to motivate both fighters. You know, if they succeed and they do win the fight, then, you know, it's going to unlock that next level, that next step. So yeah, I think it'll be motivation, but I'd expect both fighters to have their, you know, eye on the prize for August 12th.
People still talk about a potential fight between Joshua and Fury, Fury and Usyk. You know, there's so many good fights out there that this heavyweight division has to offer, but Tyson Fury's taken a complete different route. He is going to take on Francis Ngannou. Alex, be brutally honest with me. What was your thoughts when that announcement was made?
What do I think? I think it's an interesting matchup. I think to be honest with you, I think it's a mismatch, a complete mismatch boxing-wise. You know, and I think it would be a total mismatch if Fury was to go in the octagon with Francis Ngannou. I think both guys have their certain skill sets. I think you can't fault them for making a huge amount of money. It is prize fighting at the end of the day, and it's going to generate good business. Is it holding up the heavyweight division? I don't know. It probably is, and I'd prefer to see Fury taking on, you know, Anthony Joshua, Usyk, these huge fights in boxing. But I guess you can't fault him for earning a quid. It's a short career. I'd prefer to see other things personally, though.
Since he's been world champion, he's had 3 world title defences. He's beaten Deontay Wilder, he's beaten Dillian Whyte, he's beaten Derek Chisora. Given how good he is, let's just say as an outsider, would you say that's enough for a world champion, a WBC heavyweight champion from Tyson Fury? Do you think that he's not been as active as he should have been, and what would you put that down to?
I don't think he has. I think when you look through, you know, I know Eddie always talks about the resume of Anthony Joshua and how that's overlooked. I completely agree. I think the resume of Anthony Joshua is stronger than Fury when you actually work through the opponents and who he's fought. You know, I think Fury's done fantastic for the sport. He's a brilliant champion. You know, you can't, when you see him in the ring, he's a fantastic talent. I just think that, you know, I just wish he was still staying in boxing, what we see as boxing, rather than these kind of glorified exhibitions, really, even though it has got that competitive element for this next matchup.
Alex, one final one before I let you go, the big one this weekend, the huge undisputed fight between Terence Crawford and Errol Spence Jr. for all the marbles, you know, the pound for pound glory status on the line potentially as well. Who's leaving Vegas with all the marbles? Who's leaving as a rich man, Alex?
Oh, it's an amazing fight. It's a genuine 50-50, but for me, I've always said Terence Crawford. There's something about him. I love the spitefulness about his work. It's both are fantastic. I'm a little bit concerned, you know, about the after effects of the car crash with Spence as well. That's got to have taken something out of him. He's shown he's made a great comeback, but for me, I just believe Crawford's maybe that little bit better and got that little bit more left. So I'll go Crawford, but it's a fair 50-50. And
Alex, thank you very much for your time. Thank you for talking to Lights Out.
Pleasure, mate. Thank you very much.